Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Author's Den. I'm Cyrus Webb, joined by my co-host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, aka Dr. Ties. Glad you all could join us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and X. I'm going to go ahead and connect with our friends over on Instagram and bring them in, and then bring our friends in on Amazon as well. We're real excited about today's broadcast. She's making her first appearance here on Amazon Live, so we welcome us tuning in on the Amazon Live platform. If you guys are new to us on Amazon, welcome. Make sure you guys do hit that follow button. You see that here in this corner or down below. You also will see the book by our next guest. We're excited to welcome Dee Latson-Graham to our broadcast today. She's not only going to talk to us about her writing journey, but you guys can see her debut there, The Hand Life Dealt. You guys can be able to get it there in paperback or the Kindle edition as well. Then be able to talk to Dee about her writing journey and let you guys know how to stay connected with her. Taz, Dee, hello to you and welcome to the broadcast.
Hi,
Hi.
Glad you could be with us. Dee, hello to you. TAW Production, good to see you over there on IG. TBA, hello to you over there on IG as well. Dee, we're so glad to be able to have you on with us. First of all, congratulations on the book. You ended 2024 in a very big way. What has it been like for you to embrace the title of published author?
Thank you. Thank you, first of all, for having me. I'm so excited to be here. So thank you both. And it's been amazing. It's been a ride. I'll say that. I know we'll probably get into it, but I've been working on this for a while. So just dealing, having life, issues. I've kind of gotten delayed here or there, but the closer I got to finishing I finally said, hey, I got to see this through. I got to get it done. And so I started really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel a few months ago as everything was coming together. And so as that was, taking place, it was more exciting, just going through the different processes. So it's been great. I've enjoyed it fully.
I want to say hello to Dora. Hello to you over there on Amazon, Dora Garcia. Glad you could join us. Thank you so much for the follow. So, Dee, this is interesting because when I was prepping for this segment with you, what I thought was so interesting is that writing was something that you've always known was a gift, right? I mean, creative writing was something that you enjoyed. I mean, have you had that moment of being able to give yourself that pat on the back? I know you talked about the journey, how long the journey was to get here. But you have done what so many people just talk about. Have you given yourself that time and that grace to kind of pat yourself on the back and say, "Hey, we did it"?
I have lately, more recently, and more so not only because I've accomplished this feat, but more so, or just as important, I've accomplished it with a whole lot of other, life issues or life challenges, I'll say. So it's more, I appreciate it even more being able to stay focused, making sure that I get it done and in spite of, those things. So that definitely has given me the opportunity to pat myself on the back for that. So, yeah.
Love that. We're going to let our audience know how to stay connected with you, Dee. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Toss. Dr. Toss, it's all on you.
Thank you, Cyrus. Well, Dee, again, congratulations.
Thank you.
As Cyrus said, when I was prepping, I saw that you've been writing since you were a teenager.
Yes.
And as you indicated, life sort of, took you this way and that way, but you ultimately were able to release your debut book, The Hand That Life Dealt.
Mm-hmm.
When you said that, it made me think about the title.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with that title, The Hand That Life Dealt?
It came as I continued to write. I must have changed the title probably about 5 times, to be honest with you. I started with one, but as I continued to create the story, create the twists and the turns, I realized that, it just came to me. This is more about just, life throwing in those monkey wrenches and you having to figure it out and struggling to overcome. So I think probably about maybe the middle ways in is when I stuck with this one, The Hand Life Dealt. So yeah, because that's literally, that's what we deal with. We deal those hands or play those hands. So
And that's what I thought was so significant about the title. But you're a first time author. How
yeah.
easy was it really? Because you said maybe about 5 titles that you went through. How easy was it to finally say, all of them are good, and they
Yeah.
all reflect what you're writing. But now as you continue to write, the story evolves, and it's like, well, that title doesn't really convey it. But what was that moment as a first time writer where you were like, I got to go with this title, regardless of what else continues to unfold with this story?
Yeah, I think because the whole journey, the book writing journey, I got so many confirmations, affirmations just as I wrote. I was, we create stories based on experiences, most times. But there were things that I would write about that would come to be after I wrote it. And it was just confirmation after confirmation. And so as those things was happening, I would feel like, okay, this is where I need to be at this moment in the story. This is where I need to be at this moment. And that was the same thing with the title. Once that title came to me, I'm like, okay, this is it. This is, so I listened to my heart, listened to, what my intuition was telling me, and I went with it.
Well, I'm glad that you went with it. Now, you're a published author. Now, how does it feel to have readers, and what has their feedback been to you regarding the book?
It's been very well received, very well received. I didn't let anybody, well, I did give a few chapters early on to a couple of friends or family to read, and they would, and I probably gave it to the wrong people because they would read a little bit and then, they fall off. And I'm like, so is it good or what's going on? But it was them that they just were, readers. I should have, read the room first. But so I needed to, get a real reader to give me their feedback. So I finally did that after the book was done. And my sister actually was the one that read it, and she was just amazed. And so after that, I started to, get a feel for other people reading it, and everybody loved it. I got so many calls, so many just congrats, and I actually did a feedback survey. So I've been getting feedback, and everybody has loved the book, loved the storyline. They didn't want it to end, so of course, my wheels are spinning for the next one. So,
yeah. Well, congratulations! I'm so glad that it's been so well received by your sister and the other family members, but particularly the readers, and they're giving you some positive feedback that has your wheels spinning now for the next one, because you opened that gate, and so now you're going to continue to walk through it. So congratulations again. I'm going to pass it back to Cyrus.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Taz. I want to say for those who are just tuning in, welcome. Y'all are watching and listening to The Author's Den. I'm Cyrus Webb. You just heard there from my co-host, Dr. Teresa A. Smith, a.k.a. Dr. Taz. We're joined by author Dee Latson-Graham today. She's celebrating the release of her book for you guys on the Amazon side. You guys can see it there, The Hand Life Dealt available here. You guys can get it in paperback, hardcover, or Kindle edition as well. I want to also let you guys know how to stay connected with Dee. As you were talking to Taz, Dee, I thought about the main character in the book. And I think about how, we all have heard, especially as authors, I write fiction a lifetime ago. Now I mostly do nonfiction myself, but a lot of times when it comes to fiction, people are told to write what you know. Was that kind of part of the crafting for you of Don Johnson and being able to share? This is what I thought about as I was reading at the Kindle edition. I was thinking about that saying, I don't look like what I've been through. Did you kind of feel that when it comes to Dawn and being able to share her story? Because for those who don't know, the story is told in first person, so we're able to kind of walk this world with the main character. Was that kind of what it was like for you, Dee?
It was just being able to, I tell you, telling her story. For me, the creative process is just, it's more exciting to me because I get to make my characters be who they want to be and say what they want to say, probably more so than I would be able to do about myself, like in a biography. And so just being able to take from my experiences, and like I said, even things that happened later after I wrote the book, but still just having the ability to just create this world, these characters that just come together and make this beautiful story. It's yeah, I love being able to do it.
So now you're in the position of being able to, after writing this book, and as you said, you're already begin the journey of what's coming next. You're in a position now to be able to give other people advice. Dee, what do you normally tell people when it comes to the writing journey? What do you tell them based on your experience about advice that you have for them, for those who start in their first book?
Just go with your heart, go with, I mean, sometimes it's a process, because we all, as writers, we deal with writer's block. We deal with, again, just life, having to raise the kids, having to go to work, and all the other things that we have to do to keep moving. So it's very easy to kind of put this aside, put the writing aside, if it's not your main income and livelihood. It's easy to treat it as a hobby, but I say stick with it. As whenever you can get to it, even if you have to put it down for a minute, go back and just stay moving on it, just progressing, and just listen to your heart with your story, whatever it is that you're wanting to tell. One of the things I've always wanted to do, I'm always looking to figure out, how can this be helpful? How can I help somebody? And so same thing with this story, even though it's a fiction and it's a created character, I know that there are Dons out there in the world. I know that there are my other characters out there in the world that are dealing with these struggles that my characters dealt with. And I hope to give them some kind of, I guess, motivation or inspiration to be able to navigate those. I mean, we, unfortunately, like I said, life is, one of those things we got to navigate, we got to figure it out. So if I can help somebody with my story figure out what to do or what not to do, then I think I've done a good job of it. So
love that. Todd, I'm gonna throw it back over to you.
Thank you, Cyrus. Dee, I was thinking when you were talking about writer's block, and as you said, we all experience it from time to time. Mm-hmm. What is maybe the most unexpected place or moment when you found inspiration for writing? Not necessarily for this book, but it could be this book, but just writing, because you've been writing, you're a creative writer your whole life. What's an unexpected moment or unexpected place where you found inspiration?
Probably in those moments where I was, dealing with, loss, grief. Those were the times that most people would just pack it up and, put it away, and I can't do it. And I did that, probably a little bit. I mean, like I said, towards when I got towards the end of the book or finishing the book, it was easier. I think I had, been able to pick myself up a few times. And so I was able to do it more easily then. But even in those moments, there were times when, I had to check myself and say, hey, you got to keep moving, you got to keep going. And so surprisingly, I was able to, because, like I said, some people can't. But I've always been driven to just, try to, find my way through. And so other people might have seen that as a way and as a reason to call it quits, but that wasn't an option for me.
And thank you for sharing that, because I was thinking about a friend of ours, Melissa Banks, who's been journaling for years. And I'm sure in her journaling, she has captured many stories, but it's also a way of pouring out. And what you just stated is, even on those times where life may have been lifing for you, you still were able to persevere, and you chose to stay focused on your goal versus letting the struggles of those particular moments or that particular time veer you off of course. And I think that's so important for our audience to understand that it's not always going to be at this level, meaning that I'm writing every day and everything is good that I'm writing. There are days where it's like, I'm writing, but this is not good stuff. Or maybe I should stop. No, don't stop, you know?
And I'm sorry. And I was going to say, and sometimes it may not be good stuff, but sometimes it's the best stuff that you get to write during those times too. So
absolutely. And let me just say this too. Sometimes the stuff that you write during that opportunity, that is not the stuff for that particular book. It's for the next book. Like Melissa has all these journals. Just keep writing it, or keep typing, saving it, because you don't know when you're going to go back and you're going to use that for the next project. So that's great advice. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to throw it back to you.
All right. Again, everyone, Dee Latson-Graham has been our guest today. Jesus Black Man, hello to you. Could have been see over there on IG. If you guys have not been able to order your copy of the book, The Hand Life Dealt, make sure you guys do get it here on Amazon. We have the hardcover, the paperback, and the Kindle edition all available here. So you guys can start one-clicking right now. You can get the Kindle edition right now for only $6.99. So make sure you guys do get your copy of that. Dee, I do have one other question for you based on the conversation we had earlier. Then we'll let our audience know how to stay connected with you. And that was about social media. I mean, of course, you know, we all kind of connected through social. Taz and I have known each other for years. We've only met each other in person twice. What has that been like for you? I know we were joking that social media can be a job in itself, but what has that been like for you to start making those connections with your readers online?
I'm still trying to get there. I've never been, and like I was telling you too, I've never been a real big social media. I've never had a big presence. I have quite a few friends and followers, but just as far as really getting the book out there, I'm still working on that. That's a process for me, but I'm getting people on my team to help with that. So hopefully sooner than later, that's going to happen. I know I'm working on an audiobook that should be out at the beginning of next month. So I'll be doing some ads and marketing for the audio, as well as, of course, the rest of the platforms. But yeah, so I'm getting there.
Yeah. Taz?
The only thing that I would want to ask as we follow up, the last question that I had for you, Dee, was, and this is going to sound kind of wild.
Okay.
If you, just brace yourself.
I'm bracing.
Because I want you to think outside of your comfort zone. If you were to rewrite the hand that life dealt you in a different genre, like science fiction or comedy, how would you approach it? And the reason I ask the question is sometimes as writers, we think only one way when there are multiple ways to reach our audience. So if you were going to write The Hand That Life Dealt, or your next book that we know that's already in your mind, how would you write
that? Ooh, probably a comedy. I would probably make it more comic because there's therapy and laughter. There's upliftment in laughter and light. So and though there are some comedy or some light moments in this book, I would definitely probably go that route and just make it fun, make it more fun. Because it is fun. It's just mixed with some other stuff, but it's fun. And so, yeah, I probably would go with the comedy.
Thank you so much, Brittany. I was thinking comedy, but you just confirmed it. So thank you so much. Cyrus?
Dee, let our audience know, how can they stay connected with you to kind of keep up with the journey?
Well, so I have a website. It's astoldbyd.com. And so I always put any events that I am scheduled for, I put those on the website. There are photos of different venues and events that I've been a part of. There's a contact me link there. And so anything that's going on with the book or with me, I definitely have it on my website.
Love it. Again, everyone, Dee Latson-Graham has been our guest. Make sure you guys get her book, The Hand Life Dealt, available here on Amazon. Joseph Syndicate, hello to you. I see you over there on IG. Glad you could join us. Dee, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all for having me. Thank you.
Always. And Taz, let them know how to stay connected with you as well.
Oh, you can follow me on Instagram, Dr. Teresa Smith, and go to my Linktree bio, and it has all of my website, Facebook, all my social media, LinkedIn information right there.
Love it. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of the Author's Den. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.